This is painful, and you're going to need help and support. I would definitely, if you have a good friend or...
In a world where love is often tested, Doug and Lisa Weiss' marriage stands out as anything but ordinary. Years ago, Doug made headlines with a viral Facebook post that read, "Murder was an option, but divorce, never." Bold, cheeky, and unforgettable, those words captured the humor and depth of their unshakable bond. But behind the laughter, there's a story of shared struggles, unwavering commitment, and the unique ways they've kept their love alive. In today's video, we'll dive into this infamous vow, explore the lessons they've learned, and uncover the incredible journey that turned humor into a lasting commitment. The rise of Dr. Doug Weiss, a beacon of marriage counseling. Dr. Doug Weiss was once seen as a shining beacon in the world of marriage counseling, a man whose personal philosophy on love and commitment guided countless couples through their most trying times. For decades, his name was synonymous with hope and healing in relationships. His work, primarily focused on restoring broken marriages, combined psychological expertise with Christian principles. His ability to speak to both the emotional and spiritual needs of his clients made him a trusted figure in the counseling community, and his advice and insights found their way into homes across the world. Dr. Weiss wasn't just a therapist. He was a symbol of perseverance and faith. His career was a testament to the idea that, no matter how broken a marriage seemed, it could always be healed with hard work, patience, and unwavering faith in God. His books became bestsellers, offering practical advice based on years of professional experience. He also became a sought-after speaker, filling seminar halls with people eager to hear his take on relationships, love, and marital success. His work wasn't just about fixing the problems within marriages. It was about building strong, lasting unions that could weather any storm. Alongside him was his wife, Lisa Weiss, the woman who seemed to perfectly complement his teachings. Together, Doug and Lisa portrayed the picture of marital bliss. Their union was seen as the ultimate success story, a living example of what Doug preached in his books and at his seminars. They attended church together, spoke at events as a couple, and their love story became a model for others. To many, the Weiss family was an embodiment of the values Doug espoused: love, trust, faith, and commitment. They were a dynamic duo, celebrated for their work in marriage counseling and revered as a symbol of what true partnership could look like. However, as with many public figures, appearances can be deceiving. Behind closed doors, the Weiss marriage was not as flawless as it appeared on the surface. In fact, their relationship was marked by subtle but significant struggles that would ultimately lead to its collapse. The crumbling of their marriage was a shocking blow to many who had viewed Doug as a kind of marriage guru. How could the very man who taught others about the sanctity of marriage falter in his own? The public's trust in him would be tested in ways they could not have imagined. The Facebook declaration, love or foreshadowing. One of the most notable moments in Doug and Lisa's marriage was a bold Facebook post Doug made in the early days of the social media platform. The post, which he shared publicly, read, "Murder was an option, but divorce never." At the time, many viewed it as a lighthearted and humorous declaration of Doug and Lisa's unwavering commitment to each other. It quickly became a viral sensation, capturing the attention of friends, followers, and anyone who happened to come across it. The post was bold, cheeky, and unforgettable. Doug's words resonated with many, offering a funny yet resolute affirmation that they would endure anything together, even if it meant facing down extreme circumstances. But for those who knew the couple well, there was more to the post than just humor. It was Doug's way of publicly affirming his dedication to Lisa, something that seemed to capture the essence of their marriage. Doug had always been vocal about his commitment to Lisa, often sharing his adoration for her with others. In a 2017 article on Medium, Doug went even further in expressing his love, emphasizing the importance of husbands protecting their marriages and speaking out against any negative accusations about their wives. He wrote passionately about the need for husbands to be the defenders of their wives' honor, even when those accusations were only a fraction of the truth. In the same article, Doug praised Lisa for her beauty, intelligence, and patience in dealing with him. He even wrote about their great sex, a statement that added a layer of intimacy to his words. The post was a mixture of admiration, gratitude, and self-awareness, Doug's way of showing the world how much he cherished Lisa and their marriage. It was a declaration of love, but it was also a reminder of his role as a protector and advocate for the sanctity of marriage. However, as the years went on, Doug's public declarations of love and his commitment to Lisa would stand in stark contrast to the reality of their relationship. Despite the strength of his words and his professional success in marriage counseling, Doug and Lisa's 30-year marriage began to unravel. What seemed like a solid and unbreakable bond was, in truth, full of unresolved issues that Doug's public persona and professional life could not shield from the harsh realities of their personal struggles. 30 years of love and challenges. Doug and Lisa's marriage spanned 3 decades, a lifetime of shared memories, dreams, and experiences. From the outside, they appeared to have it all. Their relationship was a picture of harmony, built on mutual love, faith, and shared values. Together, they raised children, built careers, and worked to build a life that others envied. As public figures in the marriage counseling field, their dynamic was admired by many who saw them as the perfect couple, a living example of the ideals Doug taught in his books and seminars. But as with any long-term relationship, the cracks in their marriage began to form slowly, beneath the surface. Lisa would later describe how the challenges in their marriage were not marked by explosive arguments or overt betrayals. Instead, the problems were much more subtle, slow, insidious changes that eroded the foundation of their relationship over time. As the years went on, Lisa noticed that Doug began to withdraw emotionally. The man who had once been deeply connected to her, who had once been her confidant and her partner in every sense of the word, became increasingly distant. For Lisa, this emotional detachment was the most painful part of their marriage's decline. It wasn't just about the things Doug said or didn't say. It was the absence of connection that stung the most. As time went on, she felt as though she was losing him, not to another person, but to a growing emotional distance that seemed impossible to bridge. This emotional gap left Lisa feeling increasingly alone in a relationship that had once been a source of strength and support. In some ways, it was as if Doug had checked out of their marriage long before he physically left. Lisa's sense of betrayal wasn't just about the end of their marriage, but about the slow erosion of their connection. It was a devastating realization that the man she had once shared everything with was no longer present in the way he once had been. The emotional neglect she experienced became a wound that would take years to heal, a wound that would only be deepened by the public nature of their separation. Doug's quick remarriage. Raising questions. When Doug and Lisa officially separated, the public reaction was one of shock. To many, it seemed impossible that the marriage of 2 such prominent figures could end in divorce. But what truly raised eyebrows was the speed with which Doug moved on. Just months after the end of his 30-year marriage, Doug remarried Joni Lamb, co-founder of the Daystar Television network. The suddenness of Doug's remarriage sparked questions and rumors. Many wondered if Doug's heart had already shifted long before the formal end of his marriage to Lisa. Some speculated that his bond with Joni had been developing while Doug was still married, adding an uncomfortable layer of controversy to the situation. Doug, who had built his career on helping others navigate the complexities of love and commitment, was now at the center of a very public and very painful breakup. The timing of his new relationship seemed to raise doubts about the authenticity of his marriage counseling principles and whether he had truly practiced what he preached. Lisa's side of the story. For Lisa, the end of her marriage was devastating, not just emotionally, but spiritually. She had devoted herself to their relationship for 3 decades, and when Doug decided to separate, it was a crushing blow. Lisa openly admitted that she did everything she could to save their marriage, holding on to the hope that they could work through their problems and rebuild what they had lost. But when Doug quickly remarried, it compounded the pain. It was not just the fact that he moved on, but how swiftly it all happened. It hurt even more when he married Joni Lamb so soon after we separated, Lisa shared in a heartfelt statement. She understood that divorce meant new relationships for both of them, but the speed at which Doug entered a new chapter of his life made her question the worth of their 30-year history. The rapidity of his remarriage felt like an erasure of the life they had built together. The public nature of their split only added to Lisa's heartbreak. As their personal lives were scrutinized by the media and their followers, Lisa felt exposed in a way that made her grief even more painful. It was as if the world was watching her pain unfold, making her feel as though her intimate heartbreak was on display for everyone to see. The legacy of a broken marriage. The story of Doug and Lisa Weiss is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect relationships are not immune to failure. No marriage, no matter how successful it appears on the outside, is without its struggles. The end of Doug and Lisa's marriage opened up difficult conversations about the nature of love, commitment, and what it means to truly be present for one another. Their story serves as a reminder that even the most celebrated relationships are human, flawed, messy, and ultimately shaped by the choices we make every day. Joni Lamb, a controversial figure. As if the situation wasn't already complicated enough, Joni Lamb, Doug's new wife, found herself thrust into the center of the controversy. Joni, a prominent public figure and co-founder of Daystar Television network, became the subject of intense scrutiny. As a Christian leader, her actions were now being dissected by the public, and her relationship with Doug only added fuel to the fire. The Daystar network, which had long been associated with Christian values and family-oriented content, now seemed to be embroiled in a conflict that threatened to tarnish its image. Joni's swift remarriage to Doug raised questions not just about her relationship with him, but about her role within the network and whether her personal decisions aligned with the values she had long espoused. To many, Joni's actions seemed contradictory to the very principles of faith and family that Daystar claimed to represent. The network had built its foundation on promoting unity, love, and integrity within families. Yet here was its co-founder, involved in a whirlwind romance with a man who had just divorced his wife after 30 years. For those who had supported Daystar for years, it felt as though the personal lives of its leaders were undermining the credibility of the organization itself. Joni was now in the uncomfortable position of trying to navigate her new marriage while also defending her decisions to a skeptical public. Joni's position within Daystar added another layer of complexity to the situation. As a leader of a major Christian media organization, her actions had far-reaching implications, not just for her personal life, but for the entire network. Critics questioned whether her relationship with Doug compromised the integrity of Daystar, and some began to wonder if the network's leadership had become more about personal agendas than the mission of spreading Christian values. The firing of Joni Lamb, a family rift. Adding fuel to the fire, Joni made the controversial decision to fire her own son, Joni Lamb, from his leadership role within Daystar. Joni, who had been an integral part of the network for years, had earned the respect of many within the organization for his contributions to its success. His firing shocked both Daystar's staff and its audience, sparking rumors of discord within the Lamb family. Was the decision purely professional, or was it influenced by the unfolding personal drama within the Weiss and Lamb families? The firing of Joni Lamb raised difficult questions about the intersection of family and business. Was it a strategic move to protect the network's interests, or was it an emotional decision driven by personal tensions? For Daystar, an organization built on the ideals of faith and unity, this family conflict seemed to contradict everything the network stood for. Supporters of the Lamb family were divided. Some believed that Joni's firing was necessary to preserve the network's integrity, while others saw it as a painful sign of disarray at the heart of Daystar's leadership. Daystar's future, a time for reflection. In the wake of these controversies, Daystar Television Network faced an uncertain future. With its leadership embroiled in personal scandals and public scrutiny, many began to question the network's ability to maintain its credibility and focus on its original mission of promoting Christian values. The question loomed large. Could Daystar weather this storm, or would the personal drama within its leadership irreparably damage its reputation? The firing of Joni Lamb, coupled with the ongoing controversy surrounding Joy and Doug, highlighted the growing perception that personal conflicts were seeping into the professional realm. For an organization founded on unity and faith, the internal struggles were a stark reminder of how easily personal drama could overshadow an otherwise noble mission. Supporters of Daystar began to wonder if it was time for the network to reassess its leadership structure and focus on rebuilding its credibility. Would the network be able to overcome these challenges and emerge stronger, or would it be forced to redefine its place in the Christian media landscape? A new chapter amidst uncertainty. As Lisa continued her healing journey, Doug and Joey embarked on their new life together, navigating the complexities of their relationship amid public judgment and speculation. For all three of them, the unfolding drama was a poignant reminder of the fragility of human relationships. The Weiss family, Daystar Television Network, and the communities they served now found themselves at a crossroads. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The need for transparency, integrity, and resilience had never been more critical. The challenges they faced would demand honesty, self-reflection, and a renewed commitment to the values they had once held dear. For Lisa, Doug, and Joey, the journey ahead would be one of introspection, growth, and ultimately, the quest for peace.